Right. So this year I'm kind of stepping into like a different role in my leadership. There's guys that are in front of me like Trent, Kyler, Elijah Moon. They were kind of taking that leadership role, but they're gone now, and they text me and tell me, hey, like it's the room now. It's not you time to take over it. It's not time for you to dominate, not only dominate, but help the younger guys out, help everybody out. Make sure you keep that standard, because I don't want them to come back to our spring game and our practice and see that the standard is dropped. So I take it upon myself, and Don takes it upon himself, Alex Cook, Asa Turner, the guys that have been here for a long time. We take it upon ourselves to make sure that we keep that standard in the DB room up and make sure that we stay elite and even more elite and raise the standard even more.
What are some of the things you worked on to get here, in the offseason, to get to there?
So I would probably say I worked on a lot of my discipline and my feet. I worked on not being as handsy. I want to be we're playing a lot more man-to-man coverage, so I want to be more clean in my technique, and I really want to just make sure no penalties. Playing more confident, just because I played last year. So naturally, I'm more confident in my game and more confident. So I think that's the biggest thing. But I would say I probably worked on my feet a lot, because that's the key to being a defensive back.
When you don't have to think, does that make you faster? You don't have to process yet.
Right.
Is that the concept once you get on the field?
So I watch a lot of film. So when I get on the field and I see certain splits and I see certain sets and I already know the call, so I already know my job, it just makes it easier for me to play because I don't have to think about anything. I just kind of get to play freely and play fast.
So Mish, you came here without a scholarship, and you were offered scholarships elsewhere, and now you have one. Do you feel like you kind of showed everybody wrong, or just, they initially misjudged you?
Right. In my head, yes, I think so. I mean, I had the support of my family, so that's all I really cared about. Other people maybe didn't think I could do it, but I had the support of my mom, my dad, my sister, my girlfriend. Everybody was supporting me to go here and to do it. So I would say yes, I proved others wrong, but I wasn't really worried about that. I trusted myself, and I trusted I could play here and dominate. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Mish, you did have all those other offers. What went into deciding to stay in Seattle and come here and play?
Right. So I had those. I'll say the main ones with the Ivy League offers. I would say I wanted to get the best of both worlds. So Ivy League schools, top in the country, education, but they weren't as good as they were in football, compared to their athletics. So just going to University of Washington, that's getting the best of both worlds. Basically, you have the number seventh ranked school in the world, and then also I'm in the Foster School of Business, so I'm a finance major, so that played a big role in me committing. And then as well, seeing all the guys that play defensive back and seeing all of them come through here and now go to the NFL and things like that. So now that makes me even more want to go. So I want to say, I'll probably, to conclude, to say I want to get the best of both worlds, a top football program and a top education.
Did you take any visits to any Ivy League schools?
I took some unofficials in the summer of going into my senior year. I took a few unofficials there. It was nice. It was cool out there, but I just wanted something a little different.
Where'd you go?
I went to Columbia. I did a camp there. I went to Princeton. I went to Yale, and then I went to Cornell.
What was, you may have been asked this already.
Oh, you're good.
What was it like when they told you that they were putting you on scholarship? Did they do something special for you?
Oh, yeah, they had, Coach DeBoer kind of said, I want to shout out a guy who's you guys, my teammates been talking about. I really thank my teammates for shouting me out, and a guy that's really been working hard, and I watched the tape on him. So I was ecstatic to see it. I kind of felt it was coming, but I didn't know when. So I just want to, stay humble, just keep doing what I do. But I would say I really appreciate them for giving me the scholarship, because it showed that they thought that what they saw with the tape from my last year, and they saw my leadership, that they felt that I needed to be on scholarship. So I would say that was probably a big thing.
Was that something that you thought about? I'm going to go in here, I'm going to earn a scholarship, or was that maybe just that'll come if you play the way you want?
Well, one thing my dad told me was, your college is paid for. Don't worry. Don't play I need to earn a scholarship, because now that kind of makes you more timid and makes you more I got to be so technical because I got to earn a scholarship, So I think that's a big thing. My dad was telling me, hey, I have the financials. You just go out there, you get an education, and you have a good time playing football. So that just made me even more play more free, because I didn't have to worry about that. So I got to really lock in and kind of change my mindset and really work on my technique and really, dropping my weight and getting in the film room, things like that, without having to worry about, I need to earn this scholarship. So then by nature, by my hard work and my work ethic, it came. So I would say no, not really. I wasn't really worried about that. I just kind of play football. I think that's how you should think about it. You shouldn't think I need to earn a scholarship. Just play hard, play fast, and play physical, and everything will work out.
What did that moment mean to you, though, just knowing that work was being recognized?
I was ecstatic. I called my parents. They were in tears. They were crying. They don't have to pay for college anymore. They were happy. But for me, it's just a stepping stone. It's just okay, I earned that, but I have a lot more bigger dreams and goals to do. Especially with this team right here. Bigger things and things like that. So it was a good stepping stone to kind of prove yes, now I have a scholarship. So now what's next? So in that moment, I celebrated and I was happy. but for that day. But then probably the next day, right back to work, right back to doing what I usually do. Yeah.
New coaching staff. Any early impressions on Coach Juice?
Coach Juice, he's funny. He's funny, but I would say he's very technically sound. We do a lot of drills, a lot of technique drills, press drills, off drills, before we even get into team periods, before we even get into one-on-one. So you're already warmed up and ready. Your feet are already ready. So just doing that every single day, this is our first day, but I know we're going to do, EDDs, every day of drills, every day. So just doing that is really going to help us a lot. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me. I really wanted to get my feet right. So just doing all those drills every day, is going to stack days. And especially if you lock in when you do those things, it's going to really pay off in the end.
What would you say has been the biggest, without getting into anything about like a technical scheme,